All right, so here I am back on the ladder to show you one more connecting part to do with a drop ceiling. As you can see, if you take a real close look at the ceiling, you'll see that this is a recessed panel. It actually drops out a little bit, creating this panel. I'm going to push up on it and you'll see that it drops out. This is a concern for a lot of venues and of course a lot of lighting specialists because they're concerned about this panel being pushed up or damaged, which in fact, with me doing enough real-time banging on this at trade shows, you can see little nicks on the panel. So I created something that would help you on two levels. It's called the Cross Mag. Now it seems at first a little redundant to make a specialized magnet assembly that connects onto a highly powerful magnet end for the fixture. But it really wasn't about increasing the magnetic hold. It was about spreading it out and changing the way the fixture is balanced. Mostly because in this next segment coming up, I'm really talking about how to improve this end of it, the connecting point, so we can use our focus tool on this side from the ground and feeling like there's a solid connection. You'll notice a couple of things. The Cross Mag has a depth to it that is deeper than this recessed part on the ceiling. That's to clear the fixture from touching the panels altogether. We want to make sure that they're not rubbing at any time. This magnet also has almost like a rubberized plastic surface on it that protects it from scratching anything. So it's a really nice magnetic assembly, which is actually very usable in different applications. This happens to be an accessory for the angle light, but used by itself, you could hang a small, some of the small crystal chandeliers in our pendulite systems from this magnet. But in this case, it's solely being demonstrated as a wider footprint and a more stable footprint, so we can ultimately use our focus tool to position the head once everything down below, tables, food stations, whatever you're trying to light is in place. So I'm simply going to show you how this works. Once this is connected on, you can see how there's a little screw here that simply screws, allows you to attach it onto the magnet. There's a 1/4-20 hole in the middle of the magnet, and that allows for easy installation. And now you have this in place. And you can just reach up and you can connect it on. Now, this feels just about as solid to the hand as the magnet of the fixture because that's so powerful. But let me assure you, this is 3 or 4 times more stable simply because of the wider footprint. Think in terms of a tripod compared to a straight pole or a very narrow 3-leg point on a floor, and all of a sudden you widen it up. Just the fact that it's wider gives you the stability. Now, some people like the concept that it's safer. Some people like the concept that it protects and there's no way to scratch anything. Or they like the idea that the actual fixture is held away from the panels, or that it's white and it blends in and they can use the magnet for other things. It's a great investment. But for me, what I'm standing on right now to get to this ceiling, I don't like. This is not what I designed the system for. I wanted to simplify your process, make it extremely fast, extremely safe. Ladders at 10, 12, 15, 18, 20 feet in the air, whichever it is not safe and it's not efficient when you're having to span them over dinner tables in spaces that are fully set up. So in this case, this magnet allows you to use our single install tool and our focus head as a system to install single fixtures throughout the room at one time, and then allows you to go back and focus them with the head very, very quickly and feel like you've got a solid connection to work with, and then easily remove it at the end of the night without any damage to the ceiling or the fixtures. It's just a beautifully thought out, very, very efficient way of working. I have to say that once you start to do this and you learn how to do it, which, I can't really say there's a big learning curve to this, it's not that difficult. You just have to try it a few times and you'll see that it's very, very intuitive. Once you start doing it, you will rely upon it. You will price your packages in different ways because of it. You will approach venues and say, here's how we can work at your space in a totally different manner, and they will love you. And when you sit with clients and say, look at what we can do in your venue that you've chosen in a totally different way, in an affordable way, and in a safe way without having to bloat the price out and try to, and need, or I would say even need to overcharge them simply because you have the supporting components such as a lift, ladders, or multiple people, or sometimes just a lot of hours to set up. Something as simple as the Cross Mag protects and also changes your workflow. So now that you see how this connects, what I'm going to do is go to the next segment with you, and we're going to show you how we can now reach up with our focus tool and adjust the head any position, and then release it off and leave it there in its final point. So you're gonna really like the way this works once you get your hands on it. But let's go to this next segment and you'll see what I mean.